Welcome to the Eternal Bright Light channel. Today, we present one more video from the Financial Blueprint series. Let's discuss about a very hot topic, prevalent in the current financial markets throughout the world. Today, we will discuss about mutual funds. In the earlier times, only persons who had specialized financial knowledge invested in mutual funds. But today, it is used by so many people in the world. With the entire system available online, with little or no paperwork involved, it has become a very convenient way of investing money. But the question is, how many of you know what mutual funds exactly are? There are many who end up making losses because they don't have a clear idea about it. Well, no need to worry. Because, after watching this video, you will have a clear concept about the mutual funds. Instead of creating one long video, we will divide it into two parts instead, so that anyone can understand it easily. So, today in the first part of the video, we will discuss about the basic structure of a mutual fund, and then in the second part we will get into more advanced concepts. So, let's get started. To begin with, we won't get into the technical aspects. So, just imagine you have saved $100. Now, you want to invest this money. So, you think of investing them in stocks and bonds. But, unfortunately you realize that you have no clear-cut idea about these things. So you decide to consult an expert. The expert asks you to give the $100 to him instead. He will invest the money and will generate profit for you in return for a fee or commission. You decide to listen to the expert and you hand over the money to him, and after a few months your $100 starts to grow. Now, take this example to a larger scale. Instead of one single expert, think of multiple such experts hired by a company. And they cater not only to one client, but to several clients at the same time. Well, this is exactly what a mutual fund is. A mutual fund company, or commonly known as an asset management company, pools money from several customers to create a large fund. Then, they invest this large fund on behalf of the investors. But, remember, they do not do it for free. Every mutual fund has an expense ratio, which is deducted from the profit generated by the fund. This expense ratio consists of several factors, like management fees, and operating expenses of the companies. Now, let's take a closer look at the structure operating behind a mutual fund. Basically, a mutual fund structure has three primary components: the sponsor, trustee, and asset management company, and some secondary components, such as custodian, registrar, transfer agents, auditors, and brokers. Each of them has a separate and distinct role to perform. Let's take a quick glance about their specific roles. The sponsor can be any person or an entity that can set up a mutual fund to earn money by fund management. So, a sponsor is like a promoter of the fund. However, a sponsor cannot work alone. It also must have sufficient experience in fund management and have considerable net worth and adequate liquidity. The sponsor also must have a significant share in the asset management company. Therefore, the sponsor's role is very crucial, and it must carry the highest amount of credibility. Trust and trustees forms the next layer of the fund structure. Trustees are generally employed by the fund sponsor. They play a vital role in tracking the fund's growth and maintaining investors' trust. The sponsor creates a trust in favor of the trustees. So the trustees are like the primary guardians of the fund. trustees monitor all the activities of the mutual fund and the asset management companies. They play an important role in protecting the investors' hard-earned money. Next comes the asset management companies, or AMC. These companies consist of a team of fund managers, analysts and financial experts, and acts together like an investment to make the fund grow. They charge a fee in return for their fund management duties. The AMC also needs to work together with brokers, auditors, bankers, and lawyers. They also initiate various schemes of the fund after taking permission from the trustees. Therefore, the AMC plays a pivotal role in the ultimate growth of the fund. Then, there are other secondary entities like the custodians. The custodians are responsible for the safekeeping of the securities in which the funds are invested. They ensure the delivery and transfer of the securities. They assist the investors in monitoring their investments. They also collect and track the bonus, dividends and warrants received on the mutual fund investment. The registrar and transfer agents act as a link between the investor and the fund managers. They provide updated details of the investors to the fund managers, while to the investors they provide various details and advantages of the fund. Hence, the RTAs are like the operational arm of the mutual funds. The auditors are independent watchdogs, who audit or scrutinize the record books of account and annual reports of the entire mutual fund structure. Auditors help in keeping the transparency and integrity of the fund intact. The brokers have a responsibility of attracting investors and increase the fund's size. They also facilitate the buying and selling of securities in the stock market. Many brokers also study the financial markets in depth to foresee the market's future movements, hence many AMCs also seek advice and recommendations from them. Now, let's understand where these mutual funds can invest the money. Basically, the funds can be invested in bond market, money market, and stock market. So, based on this, there are three types of mutual funds: equity mutual funds, bond mutual funds, and money market funds. There is also another type of mutual fund, called hybrid mutual funds. These funds invest in a combination of the above three markets. That is, it might invest the fund in both equity and bond. There are some other types of mutual funds also, but they are just a subdivision of the above three types. All types of mutual funds have their own specialities. Just remember this: the risk appetite and the financial profile of the investor decides which type of mutual fund is appropriate for them. Now, let's look at some of the positive and negative aspects of mutual funds. First, let's look at the positive aspects. Number 1. Mutual funds are highly liquid. That is, you can sell them at any time, as there is no lock-in feature, except for certain type of funds. So, in case of emergency you can withdraw your money quickly and easily. Number 2. Mutual funds are operated by a team of fund managers and expert financial analysts. So, you are getting the support of a top-class professional team, who will help grow your money, without you having to spend any time to manage your fund at all. Number 3. You are getting the benefit of portfolio diversification. That is, your money is not invested in only one or two types of stocks or securities. The mutual funds invest in several securities, some investing in more than 1,000 securities. So, if you invest $100, then it will be divided and allocated to many different stocks and securities, thus reducing the risk of loss. Number 4. some mutual funds have tax benefits. The funds invested in these types of tax-saving funds are eligible for annual tax deduction. Number 5. Mutual funds provide benefits of scale and cost efficiency. You know, as volume increases, price decreases. For example, 500 gram butter may cost $20, while 200 gram butter cost $10. So, as these mutual funds have large value, some going over billions of dollars, the cost like brokerage, custodial and other fees are substantially reduced, compared to investing directly alone. Now, let's look at some of the negative aspects. Number 1. Mutual funds are subject to market risks. Depending on the type of mutual funds, the risk can vary between low to very high. So, the investor must be prepared accordingly. Number 2. You don't have control over your funds. You cannot exactly decide how and where your funds are invested. That will be decided by the mutual fund company. Number 3. While diversification reduces risk, it also may prevent big returns. This is because the funds are allocated to several places, some may return profit, while some may run into losses. Therefore, the net profit might reduce. Number 4. The returns are not fixed, unlike in bank fixed deposits. So there will be fluctuations in returns. Although, the scope of profit is far greater in mutual funds. Friends, we have reached the end of this session. To summarize in short, mutual funds pool money from investors and invest them to generate profit, either in the form of dividends or capital gain. The return and risk varies according to the type of the fund. There is a definite structure operating behind the setup of a mutual fund company. Like everything else, there are both pros and cons in mutual funds. However, the pros outweighs the cons, hence, it has become a very popular method of investment in the modern world. In the next video, we will discuss more advanced aspects of mutual funds. So stay tuned for more contents. If you found this video helpful, then share them with your friends. Let's learn and evolve together. Goodbye and take care.